if you are overwhelmed by all the things that you have to do, different things that you think that you need to do, but you primarily don't want to do, you're in luck. You're going to love this video because I'm going to show you essentially how you can adjust your mindset to really achieve the results that you're looking for by actually doing less. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And I know it's that doing all the things part of my business that sometimes stresses aspiring online entrepreneurs and coaches out. I get it. I remember feeling really overwhelmed by everything that I thought I needed to do in order to be successful online. However, you'd be surprised that there was one mindset that once I let this go, my business completely doubled. So if you are overwhelmed by all the things that you have to do, different things that you think that you need to do, but you primarily don't want to do, you're in luck. You're going to love this video because I'm going to show you essentially how you can adjust your mindset to really achieve the results that you're looking for by actually doing less. So if you're curious about how that works, stay tuned because we're going to get into it right now. All right, if you can believe it, from the very beginning, my business doubled when I let this mindset go, and I find myself re-letting this mindset go even as I achieve newer and higher levels in my business. And that is this mindset of means to an end thinking. What do I mean by that? Means to an end thinking is essentially when you approach your business as, oh man, look at all these things that I have to do. I don't actually want to do them, but I'm gonna do them as a means to an end because the end result is ultimately what I wanna have. In fact, I find that not only do aspiring entrepreneurs do this, but people in life do this. And I can go on a whole diatribe of how I feel that society and how we in society are often programmed to just follow the mold and follow steps that have been prescribed before us and taught that we have to do certain things in order to get a result. And if we don't do things in a particular way, that we're not going to get the success that ultimately that we are looking for. But I find that my business has been most successful, not when I was doing things that I actually didn't want to do in order to get a particular end, but when I just decided that I was going to get the end, and then I decided that I was going to do things that I wanted to do in order to achieve that end. Perfect example was when I was first getting started in my business. I actually didn't understand the concept of like webinars and funnels and all of this tech stuff, right? And I'm talking back in 2014, 2015. But one thing that I wanted to do, even though I wanted to grow my audience and I wanted to make sales, one thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to collaborate with other amazing women. And I really enjoyed challenges. I really enjoyed hosting various challenges. So that's what I did. In the beginning of my business, I actually didn't host a lot of webinars. I hosted challenges. One of my most popular challenge was my 3-day self-discipline challenge. I collaborated with online entrepreneur and hair entrepreneur Myleik Teal for our 5-day Over Here Being Disciplined challenge that I then used to sell my first ever self-discipline program. And so that was a 5-day email challenge. I sent out, audio messages each day for everyone who signed up. I then collaborated with one of my biz besties, Dominique Broadway, who is an award-winning financial, influencer and coach online. And so we had a collaboration that we did, I want to say in 2015, 2016, when we were doing challenges and again, collaborating with each other, sending emails out for the participants of this challenge. And I look back at that time so fondly because I was just doing what I thought was cool. I was doing what I would want to be a part of if I were a customer or if I were considering someone's coaching program. No one sat me down and taught me and said, okay, the best way that you grow your audience is you reach out to your peers and you collaborate with them, and then you host this challenge, make it 3 to 5 days, send audios out this way. No, I was just doing what I wanted to do and what I thought would be really fun. And I decided that I was going to get the result using that method. And so I know this can feel contradictory, especially because on this channel, I do talk a lot about how you need to be really consistent with your content and you need to show up and do all of these things. But I think what gets lost in translation is people think that I'm saying that you need to show up in exactly the same way I'm showing up, and that's not the case. Understand that anywhere that I show up in the way that is authentic to me and the way that I want to show up, right? So I know that my strongest communication point is, talking, right? Even more so than writing, even though I believe that I'm a strong writer as well. But But that's why you'll find that most of my content is centered around my podcast, again, audio, me speaking, or video. Even though it's visible, the primary content that comes from my videos is the audio, right? The spoken word of the content that I am saying. And then we repurpose that content and translate it into written text, right? That is me not doing a means to an end, not saying, oh, somebody said I need to write articles and I need to be on LinkedIn and whatever in order to get a particular result. That's me saying, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I get really excited around doing? And how can I structure my business so that I'm ultimately every day doing what I want to do in the way that I'm going to do it, and then getting the results at the same time. And I know this sounds kind of like crazy, like, no, well, don't I have to market my business in a certain way? Don't I have to, whatever, use webinars, run ads, do funnels, all these things? What you don't understand is when you show up and you're doing things that you really don't want to do, and again, you have that means to an end mindset where you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I'm just doing it as a means to an end, a few things happen. One, your natural charisma and magnetism just completely gets killed, right? People can see it on your face. Even when you think that you're, acting really well and playing up that you're excited, when you are doing things that you don't want to do, but you're doing them because you think you have to in order to get a particular end result, your content, again, your charisma, your whole demeanor, your aura is gonna look radically different from someone who is showing up and doing those things because they actually enjoy it and because they actually want to. And people will not understand this on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, they will gravitate towards the people who are doing what they want to do, not what they feel like they have to do, because again, it's written all over your face, right? You have a certain light about you when you're like, I love the work that I'm doing. I love the path that I am going through and the journey that I am on in order to get there. When you actually hate the journey and you hate the path and you are just doing it to get a particular result, people can see that on you even in a subconscious way, and it actually reduces your sales, it reduces your effectiveness, it makes people less engaged with your content. So you think that you're doing this thing to get a result, but you end up not getting the result anyway because people can see that you don't actually enjoy it. But another thing that happens when you focus on what I call means to an end mindset and you're doing things that you don't actually want to do just to get a particular result is that you actually wear yourself out and you really kill your inspiration. And so this is a big problem because I actually talk about this in this video. And so the thing that I talk about in this video, and again, you can check it out, you actually have a harder time producing the thing that you need that I share in that video when you are low on inspiration, when you are worn out, when you are stressed out, again, when you are forcing yourself to do things ultimately that you don't want to do, you lack the inspiration, you lack the creativity, and you lack the insight that you need in order to show up online and to have really engaging content and to draw people to you and ultimately to draw those clients. So I know it sounds contradictory, and I know, we've grown up our whole lives being told that, by teachers or parents or whatever, wagging their fingers at us saying, hey, if you don't do something in this particular way, you're not going to get the result. But I think by now, especially online and entrepreneurship, we've seen enough rule breakers, right? Enough people who said, you know what, I'm going to do things in my way and I'm going to get the result. And so that's the main takeaway that you need to understand, is that you got to get clear on who you are and you have to get clear on what is your way, right? From the very beginning, I've been very, very clear on what is my way, right? What is the Courtney way of doing things? What is the CLS way of doing things? And I work very hard to make sure that everything I do fits in with how I am and my own authenticity. And this is not to say that I'm perfect at this. Yes, sometimes even I get caught up in means to an end thinking and thinking, oh my goodness, I need to do this in a certain way in order to hit this amount of sales or to get a certain result. But thankfully, because this is the world that I'm in, and as a coach, I receive coaching, it's such an eye-opener to me when I realize that I'm doing that and I just hit the brakes and I say, you know what? No, my results ultimately come from me and my results ultimately come from my decision. And so I have faith that I can produce whatever results that I want in a way that suits me and in a way that is authentic to me. And I don't have to do things, I don't have to abide by certain means just to get to the end. I can do things in a way and following a path and journey that makes sense for me and ultimately get my results. And that is what has happened to me over the life of my business. Again, my business has doubled when I decided to do my videos the way that I wanted to do them, when I decided to do my reels the way I wanted to do them, when I decided to send emails the way I wanted to send them, when I decided to brand myself and to make my visuals look the way ultimately I wanted them to make. Again, people really feel that authenticity, and they're like, okay, I'm really vibing and I'm really rocking with this person. So if you have been struggling, forcing yourself to do things ultimately that you don't want to do, you got to get clear on who you are and start doing things in a way that is authentic to you, because when you do, it will double your business, and there's no need to do this whole means to an end mindset. So if that is something that you're struggling with and you definitely want some guidance and some coaching around who you are, right, and how you can express who you are in your business, I highly recommend that you join my signature program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp. This teaches you how to do that exactly, how to be your own person, how to create a competition-proof brand where you are truly operating in a lane of one. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, you can click the link below to apply. And if accepted, we will invite you to an enrollment call with our coordinators where you can learn all about the program and hopefully sign up. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure that you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you're following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.